video. Hope you're doing well. Hope your life's going well. Hope this week has gone well for you. Hope that today has gone well for you. Today is Saturday, September the 28th, 2024. It's about 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I hope that you all are having a wonderful weekend so far. And I hope that you have something, fun and exciting planned for the weekend. As for me, I'm doing good myself. I was on vacation from work this week, but I go back next week, and so just preparing for that. And I think after this, I'll probably go outside on a walk because it actually feels really good outside. So I'll probably just go for a walk or something like that, and then after that, probably do some grocery shopping. I'm gonna try to go on like a fruit fast, because I was just looking up some of the positive health effects of a fruit fast, and I kind of just want to try it out and see like how it how it makes me feel overall. Just eating nothing but like straight fruits, So I'm gonna try that out. I'm not sure for how many days I'm gonna do this for. I was thinking between like a few days and maybe a week. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll have to see. But anyway, let's get right into what I want to talk about in this video. And what I want to talk about in this video is the four major cities in Texas. I'm going to talk about Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and Austin. I'm going to talk about just some different aspects of these cities and just kind of, I guess you can say, like, compare them to a certain degree. I'm going to talk about the economy / job opportunities in these cities. I'm going to talk about cost of living, the food scene, the climate / the weather, sports teams, the size of the city, the crime, and the diversity. And so, I guess I can start with Houston. So, with Houston, let's start out with the economy of Houston, right? Houston is mainly a city that their economy is mainly made up of like oil and gas, energy sector, and they have the Port of Houston here too. So, because it's since it's a major city along the Gulf Coast, that's a port where goods and everything that's being shipped overseas by ship, it's able to come through the Port of Houston, and there's many opportunities at the Port of Houston as well. So yeah, we have the oil and gas sector, the energy sector, and then like the ports. A very large healthcare sector. The Texas Medical Center is huge. I meant to look up whether this was like the biggest medical center in the United States. I want to say it is, but I might be wrong. I'm not 100%, but it's one of the biggest in the United States for sure. And so, healthcare is really huge. Yeah, so that's pretty much the economy. And as far as cost of living isn't too bad in Houston. It's, really Texas in general compared to other like states, it's cheaper, but Houston's gonna have a pretty cheap cost of living. And so, that's what it is with the cost of living. The food scene, there's a lot of different types of food that you can, buy in Houston. There's just all sorts of restaurants that serve food from all around the world, right? So very, very diverse as far as like the food scene. There's all types of different restaurants that chance there's a good quality restaurant that serves that food in Houston. And Houston, it's a restaurant city. There's restaurants everywhere, everywhere. Climate slash the weather. The climate is it usually gets very humid and hot during the summertime. So between like April and May and like to like September, October, it just gets like super hot and it's humid as well. Like it'll literally be to the point where you um you literally step outside for 30 seconds and you're already gonna be sweating. Like you're already gonna like feel like nasty because like you're already sweating after 30 seconds of being outside. That's kind of how it is during the peak summertime. June, July, August. I'm telling you for real, you step out, as soon as you step outside, you're just sweating after like 30 seconds. And it kind of gets annoying because it's like you'll go out, right? You'll go outside for like a second to do something or whatever. Like let's say you left something in the car. Like you went out, now you came back and you left something in your car. So you go out to your car, get something out of your car, and by the time you make it back into your house, you're already like sweating. You're like, I literally was only outside for like a minute, walking to my car and back. It just, I think that could kind of be annoying. And so, that's something that you have to think about when it comes to, Houston. But on the flip side of that, we get pretty mild winters. It gets cold, 30 degrees average, right around there. Sometimes it gets down to the 20s. Now, in very, like, rare cases, it gets down to the, like, the teens, like, and so we have very mild winters, right? And so the thing about it is you have to deal with the extremely hot summers. But then on the flip side, you have the mild winters, right? So, yeah. As far as sports, Houston has major sports teams. The Rockets, the Astros, the Texans, the Dynamo. I might be forgetting some other sports teams, but yeah, Houston has, all the major sports teams. And so, if you're into sports, and going to sports games and stuff like that, Houston definitely has it. As far as the size of the city, Houston is huge, and that can present a problem because to go from like one end of the city to the next, it can take you over an hour in rush hour traffic, and you'll still literally be in Houston city limits. Like, it's not like, okay, you're going from like one suburb up north to like the suburb down south. We're talking about you're on the north side of the city limits and you're trying to go to the south side of the city limits in rush hour traffic. It'll still take you like over an hour. And that's because, Houston, they don't put a lot but this is just my opinion, they don't really invest like enough money into public transit. They have public transit, but I think they could do better. And then they don't put as much into like building sidewalks and bike lanes, and they need more light rails. They have a light rail system, but they don't put enough into major freeways, to help alleviate the traffic, because they have this thing where they like to just add a bunch of lanes to these freeways, but it doesn't necessarily help the traffic problem, right? I think what would really help the traffic problem is if they actually invested more into, traffic solutions outside of just adding a bunch of lanes to a freeway. It's a very car dependent city as well, so that it doesn't help there. So yeah, as far as the crime goes, every major city has crime, but Houston does have some pretty rough areas, and so I think they have. I'll admit it's a pretty good amount of like rough areas. Areas where it's just not. The people there aren't really doing very well overall, and so in those areas, that's where the crime is going to be high. I think I would say the majority of areas that are inside of Beltway 8 but outside of 16 are not necessarily good, with the exception of like the Memorial area, right? And like the kind of like that Memorial area, and then part of Bel Air, kind of is outside of 16 as well. But Bel Air has its own city, so it's kind of different. But yeah. But yeah, that's crime. I mean, there's good areas in Houston. You have Memorial area, Bel Air, West University Place. Certain areas of the Museum District are pretty decent. So I mean, you kind of have good areas like inside of the city at least, but I would say majority of the good areas, like the really nice areas, would be like outside of Houston city limits. It's gonna be the suburbs, such as like Sugarland, or Cypress, or the Woodlands, or Pearland, or Webster League City area. We're talking about nice areas in the Houston area. Those are the type of suburbs we're talking about. But the problem is, because it's such a big area, if you want to live out there and then work in the city of Houston, your commute is gonna be like pretty bad. Pretty bad. We're talking about 30 minutes to an hour, like every day, or more. It could be more depending on where you work, but that's usually kind of the average. So yeah, unless you're wanting to live in the city, which the city does have nice areas. It kind of just, that's just what happens. As far as the diversity, Houston is a pretty diverse city. There's people here from pretty much any background you can think of. So yeah, as far as diversity, it's a very, very diverse city, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Houston is the most like diverse city in the United States. From what I saw that statistic like somewhere. And so yeah, very diverse city. If that's something that's important, diversity. It's a very diverse city. So yeah, that is Houston. It's kind of funny. I thought I was gonna talk about all four: Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, in this video, but I'll talk about, like, I guess Dallas in the next video, and then just do San Antonio in another video, and then Austin in